Well, good evening, gang, and welcome to It's All About Arts. My name is Glenn Williams, and I'm your host. And to my right and to your left, of course, back from her adventures, the lovely Valerie Eliason. Hello, Val. How are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
I'm great. Welcome back. And I want to tell everybody that we are coming to you live from our beautiful studios here at BNN-TV. And you're more than welcome to join us if you'd like. We're at 617-708-3290. Great staff of Davey and the great staff of BNN are in the other room answering the phone. So please give us a call. Let us know what's going on in your artful life and what you're up to. Val, welcome home.
Thank you. It's so nice to be home.
Did you have a nice trip?
I had a wonderful trip. It was so nice.
You were away for the snowstorm and for Open Studios. We missed you.
I know. I definitely missed Open Studios. I did not miss the chilly weather that I heard all about, though.
Oh, I felt so bad because the thing that can kill, that can knock that event out of the water is
weather.
Yep.
Because
it's such a mobile event. You're going from different, all over the town, going to different studios and galleries, and you just can't get around. I have to say thank you to all of our friends that came to our house. We didn't want for people to be there. It was great. We had close friends that came and stayed and had hot chocolate and had a couple of drinks later on, and we had tons of food. My mother was in from upstate New York. My sister came down so it was nice. It was nice. The whole family was together, and family and friends. It made for us a successful Open Studio.
There's nothing better than family, friends, and art.
Yes.
All mixed together.
You can tell you're not from around here. It's art. What's art? Art.
Art.
So tell me about the Bahamas. Was it the Bahamas you went to?
It was the Bahamas. It was the Bahamas. And because I kept confusing the two, Bermuda, Bahamas, kept confusing the two of them. I was in the Bahamas, and the reason I remember it is because I would think Bahama Mama. I'm going to the Bahamas with my mama. So
did you?
I did.
Mom went with you? That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I met your mother. She's great.
She's wonderful. So my mom and my roommate, it was so much fun spending this nice little girls' weekend.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, we got to see some incredible aquariums.
Yeah, tell me about there was a water thing you did where you were swimming with the sharks or something?
Yeah, it was this crazy water slide called the Leap of Faith. You got up there and it was like, I don't even know how many stories up, and you're up at the top of the water slide like this, and you go flying down, and then you go plunging into this tunnel that's totally enclosed, and it goes through a giant shark tank.
Wow.
And it like sort of plateaus out, so you swoosh down and then stop, and then you look around you, all these sharks. And you're like scared out of your mind for a second, and then it just pushes you through and you fall out into a giant pool.
Did you check how thick the glass was?
I didn't have to know. I did
That
not.
had been my first question.
Yeah.
Don't wedge me in there if the glass isn't, very thick and safe.
It was really fun.
Well, we did miss you last week. We still forged on and had a pretty good show. We had the kids art was out there. We had some people in from their organization. It was good. It wasn't bad. It was nice. You were missed, and it was a pretty good show. I did talk a little bit at the beginning of the show. I kind of took over the beginning and talked about our great mayor that we're missing dearly. But it was, and thank you for posting those photos on Facebook. It was very touching and very. It meant an awful lot to Janice and I to see those. We just weren't in the frame of mind to do anything.
Yeah.
We just weren't ready to get anything like that done.
It was definitely shocked the whole city. It's wonderful, man.
But he would want me to shut up, so I'm gonna. Let's talk a little bit about that Open Studios. One of the things that we did discover, there were people that did come, and they were finding that everybody was sharp and ready to go for Rosendale Open Studios. But like I said, the weather just kind of dampened everything down. But all indications are that there was still a high rate of people that went to a lot of the public places where there were multiple artists showing. So there was a lot of that happening. And I'm sorry you weren't in it this year.
I know. I was really bummed about it. It just didn't work out time-wise.
Well, you were in the You just moved into Rosendale.
But you better, I'm going to be in it next year.
I'm sending you a memo tomorrow about next year's Open Studios.
If I could sign up tonight, I'll do it.
To get you in there, because it is a great event. Anybody that doesn't know what Open Studios is, it's an opportunity for people to get into people's working areas, into their studios, into their galleries, and maybe see a piece that's wet, maybe see a piece that someone's still working on and stuff. It's pretty cool.
I love that. I love hearing that even with all the slush and terrible weather that people went out and got to check out Open Studios and got to check out people's workspaces. But to be honest, I'm not surprised. I mean, if there's anything we know about people in Boston, weather definitely doesn't hold us back from anything.
No, we're a hardy bunch.
That's for sure.
New Englanders.
Yep.
And people still got out. There's a bike group, Bike Rosendale. A couple of them showed up on their bikes,
nice.
kind of showed up all bundled up, came in. Because what Janice did a great thing. She put out on Facebook, if you need hot chocolate, we've got the hot chocolate on. People walked in.
Marshmallows?
Yes, of course. Yeah. People walked in going, hot chocolate, hot chocolate. so we did that, and it was fun.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Had a little table for the adults with a little mini Bailey's nips on it.
A little Kahlua off to the side for those white Russian fans and black Russian fans. But I didn't move anything. None of my paintings went. Every year I usually kind of move one or two pieces. But no one bought this year. But Janice did fantastic.
That's so good to hear.
She must have sold 25, 30 pieces. Which is amazing, of her pots and birdhouses and things like that. People were really scooping that stuff up. So I'm really proud of her. She did a great job.
I love her stuff. I love that big sunflower postcard that she sent out. That's
well,
one of my favorites.
That's an actual big painting. So it's a picture of the painting that's been brought down to that.
That's awesome.
Well, speaking of sunflowers, we've got a great show tonight. I'm going to say the name James Higgins, but I don't think people are going to realize, but they're going to find out tonight about this. Anybody who's heard me talk about that mural down in Rosendale Square and the work it took to get that up there, we've got the actual artist here in the room tonight to talk to us about a mural that's been hanging up in Rosendale for 40 years.
That's so cool.
And I'm just so stoked about it. It's great. What do you got coming up? Anything? I want to know what I wanted to ask you. Was there any artful things going on down on the sand, or did you just lay around with the sharks?
You know, I would say the aquariums.
You did a Val's view from down there. We couldn't use it because of the sound was the wind. I guess it was pretty windy down there. Is it hurricane season now?
It's not. I think they're just some lagging gusts, to be honest. The end of it. The end of hurricane season.
Okay.
Yeah, but pretty windy. It was definitely had the palm trees going sideways.
You got the girls together. You weren't thinking about museums and
we did spend a good amount of time on the beach, but when I go on vacation, I'm an explorer. Yeah. I like to see everything I like to see. We ventured away from the resort. We went to these amazing they're called fish fries. Yeah. Some of the best fish I've ever had in my life. Conch salad, all this great local art we saw. It was definitely, it was cool to see the actual Bahamas and not just...
Had you been before?
Never, no.
So did you fly down or swim?
I actually took a canoe out
from Miami?
Yeah, it took longer than I wanted to take to get there. Which is a pretty short flight. It was only like 3 hours and 15 minutes, I think.
From here?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's not too bad.
I've been to other parts of the Caribbean, but never to the Bahamas.
Are you a swimmer?
Yes. Yeah,
so
grew up on a lake.
I love the ocean. I love swimming, and I understand the ocean there is nothing like the ocean here.
It's like walking into a giant bathtub. It's so warm, and the water is this incredible color. And gosh, I loved it.
Yeah, I've got to go down at some point. You know, maybe when I grow up.
Yeah.
I'll go down to the Bahamas.
When you get older,
when I get older,
when you're an adult.
Yes. One of the things that we like to talk about is the Main Streets program. You know, the Rosendale Village Main Streets Farmers Market.
Yes.
It has just 2 more Saturdays to go. It'll go right up until the weekend before Thanksgiving, but I have an announcement that there is going to be a winter market. And it's going to be at the Sons of Italy on Birch Street in Rosendale Square. So that's like right off of Corinth Street, right in the heart of the square.
Perfect.
And every Saturday, starting in January for the whole winter, there's going to be a winter's farmers market.
You gonna bring your hot chocolate?
It's so we can just walk down from our houses. It's right there, and it's going to have produce and stuff from a lot of the farms around the area. I understand that Foxborough cheese is going to be there. There's going to be some artisans there. There's going to be some music and all that. So it's going to be a really exciting thing that's going to keep going in the square. So it'll keep a buzz about Main Streets and what have you.
I love that. I love meeting people in the community and just feeling just so connected to everyone.
It's one of my favorite parts of the farmers market. The apples and the strawberries are great, but I think that whole camaraderie of this past Saturday, there's no band, so I just had music playing. So I had music playing from all different cultures, and there was different kinds of music playing. And I just sat back and kind of melted in and kind of started enjoying it a little bit. And I got to sit with some friends I hadn't seen in a long time. People would come over and say hi, and how's this guy? It was great. It's a nice melting pot of community people, so it's a lot of fun.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. But Main Streets are our best friends here. Aside from David's our best friend. But Main Streets helps keep us in this building, and we're very, very proud of our affiliation. You know what they do is it's a volunteer-driven organization that helps revitalize business districts around the city. That great city councilor 30 years ago, Tom Menino, was the guy that started it. He brought it into the Rosendale, Hyde Park, West Roxbury area and started it right in Rosendale Square. And what it does is it gives the property owners an opportunity to get demographic information about what the community needs. And then it helps the business once they're moved into the storefront with design and permitting and all that kind of thing. And then the promotions committee runs all these cool events where people can come down and discover all of the neat things that are going on around their community. So they've been our supporter here for a long time, and we're so proud of our affiliation with them. If you see someone in a Main Street t-shirt, thank them for Val and I, will you? Because we really love the support they've given us.
They're incredible.
And the job that they do. I mean, look what they've done to this city. I think that, the mayor had this great concept of giving people who are living in that small part of Boston an opportunity, some funding and an opportunity to really turn their business district over. Because a lot of the business districts back in the 80s, early 80s, mid 80s were desolate, and they just were downtrodden and looked like ghost towns after 5 o'clock. And now, just take a ride around the city and what it's like. And that's a whole Main Street driven type of event. It's good.
I love how much there is to discover in our city. I mean, especially after Main Streets came in and just really, even in Rossi Square, there's still, I am constantly finding new little nooks and corners and places that I fall in love with every time I walk by them. It's great.
Our guest James found one of the shops down there, and he was so excited about it. He came out and fell right over the sidewalk. Poor guy broke his hand in Rosendale Square, of all places. He told me the story. He went, "Oh, come on, that's no way to greet you and invite you back."
No.
That's crazy. But it was, Main Streets is a great organization. They're dynamite. The other thing we like to talk about is this building that we're in, BNN-TV, which is Boston Neighborhood Network. Did you know that?
Yes.
It is Boston Neighborhood Network, and what they are is they're the cable access organization here in Boston. Way back, the government and the legislature decided it was a good idea to give people a voice. They wanted to give people an opportunity to do programming on a local level and to talk about local issues and to get feedback from the community. So they developed this all over the country where cities had to provide a couple of television stations in their local network for community. I mean, not WGBH type. WGBH is public broadcasting on a huge scale. This is on a scale where anybody can get an opportunity to come in and do some television programming. That's this building we're in right now.
I love seeing people take advantage of it too. It's awesome.
The place is humming, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's people in here all the time doing programming. And what it is you become a member. And you get to take some programming and some classes in Final Cut Pro or Final Cut. You get to work with 10, or you get to work with Digital Performer, or you get to use all of those cool little applications and programs that do programming. You learn how to use these amazing cameras, and you go out and you shoot a
Track meet.
The local farmers market, a local concert at the church.
Yep.
You film it, you bring it back here, and you go into this amazing new Timothy Smith lab downstairs, which is now stocked with incredibly brand new computers.
Yeah, I'm very jealous.
Yes.
Very jealous.
And edit your show, and guess what? They put it on TV for people to enjoy. The other side, which you and I are working on, is called it used to be called the Answer Channel many years ago, but now it's called News and Information.
Huh.
And yeah, the Answer Channel. I kind of liked that.
I kind of like that. It has a nice little
Answer
ring
Channel.
to it.
It was kind of cool. But this is where nonprofits come in. They get an opportunity to talk about their mission statement. They get to talk about what their nonprofit is up to, what kind of support that they need, the different programming that they're supplying for the community. People can call in and ask questions and get involved in the conversation live on TV. And this is the place to come and do that. You bring your guests, you get a couple of co-hosts that come and do the show, and then you bring guests in to talk about what it is you want to get done. So this is the place to do that.
Yeah.
And the website is www.BNN-TV.org. Who should they see?
They should see Janice Williams or Jim Atwood.
Jim Atwood or Janice Williams, they're the ones that have all the answers. So you click on their name and their little email address thing comes up, and you can say, hey, Val and Glenn were talking about, and they'll get you all of the cool information that you need.
Or if you're not in the area and you don't have the wonderful privilege of living in Boston,
Yes.
because it's a wonderful city,
It certainly is.
we stream live.
We do stream live. So right now,
Yeah, you can be in Colorado or Wisconsin,
Anywhere.
Texas,
the Bahamas.
the Bahamas.
And you just go to www.bnntv.org, click on what's playing now, and up it comes.
Yep.
Right?
Or
Or you can watch us tomorrow at this time, because we're going to be this show will be up on YouTube tomorrow.
Yep.
And I'm going to put this out now. Make sure you don't miss the show next week.
Yes.
Next week's show is going to be very, very exciting. We're very excited about this. I'm not going to be here next week.
I'm particularly very nervous about it.
No, Val's going to be great. Val's running the show next week. It's going to be a lot of fun. So put on your VCRs and keep this one for posterity. You're launching a career next week.
For blackmail purposes down the road.
That's great. You know what we're going to do is our great friend and producer Suzanne Schultz has sent us in a film of an art opening at City Hall.
Oh yes, we were having a little preview of it before the show started.
Yes, and it's a little bit long. So what we're going to do is we're going to show half of it this week and half of it next week.
Okay.
Okay. So because we just don't have enough time to show the whole thing, but I think it's worth seeing. So why don't you? What we'll do is we'll put the whole thing also up on YouTube tomorrow.
Okay.
So I'll put that up as well as a separate thing, but on our It's All About Arts channel. But why don't we watch the first half of this? We'll look at part one tonight, and then next week we'll look at the other one. And when we come back, we'll get you set up and ready for Val's View. What do you think?
Sounds good to me.
Got a Val's View? Okay.
Yeah, got a couple good
Listen,
ones.
gang, you're watching BNN-TV's It's All About Arts. My name is Glenn. This is
Val Eliason.
Valerie Eliason. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes, gang. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Hi, my name's Suzanne Schultz with BNN It's All About Arts, and we are here today in City Council President Bill Linehan's office. Hello, Bill.
Hello, Suzanne. How are you? Good to see you.
You too. We are here today because we have a beautiful art installation with a lot of Boston's artists, and we want to hear a little bit about what Bill has to say about that.
So we're really excited that we're building a relationship with you and some of your artists, give them an opportunity to display their creativity right here in City Hall and in the President's office and in the entire City Council. We've had a great response from the councilors. They're excited that we sort of have our own presentation of art, and I'm excited because many of the people are from the city, if not from my district.
Wonderful. Well, we look forward to working with you in the future, and have a great time today.
Yeah, thank you very much. We look forward to the evening.
Thank you. Hi, we're here with one of the artists that's showing here at City Hall, Gloria Bernstein. Hello, Gloria. How are you?
Fine, how are you?
How's everything? Everything is great. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the piece we're standing in front of?
Well, I live in the Hudson Valley in New York State, and I do a lot of painting outside. And this is one of the scenes that are around my home in the mountains. And it's a winter scene. This is the way it looks when the sun sets sometimes on the birch trees and the trees around there. And this is what I do. I go out, look around, see the landscapes, come home and paint it.
Well, it's absolutely gorgeous. And congratulations on your show at City Hall.
Yeah, thank you so much, and thank you. Thank you very much.
Hi, we're here with Doug Caves. Hello, Doug. How are you tonight?
I'm doing great, Suzanne. Nice to be here.
Yeah, it's very exciting. You have a few shows going on. You're at Thomas Moser down in Connecticut, and here you are at City Hall.
Yep, we're trying to get out there to public, be seen.
Yes, exactly. So tell us about the piece we're standing in front of right now.
Okay, well, this piece is it's one of my favorite motifs. It's a setting in Groton, Massachusetts, on top of a conservation land in the hill. And so I've done many sittings in this area. This particular painting I really like because of the dramatic light effects in it. And it actually, it's been doing quite well. I've got a nice award at Leominster Art Association was shown. It was Artist of the Month for this particular painting, and I've had a lot of interest in it.
Well, you're really great with the light. Your pieces just are always so illuminated, and they're kind of, they have an almost foreboding feeling to them.
Wow, yeah, that's a great comment. I like foreboding. You know, there's a certain amount of emotional background that goes into all of these scenes. The New England landscape, for me, is everything, and you know, it's just a great way to bring meaning to the painting. It's just, all my life I've been outdoors, and all my life I've been painting, and now the New England landscape and painting, it's just the way I'm expressing myself.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much.
Suzanne, where did you go? I'm sorry. What happened there? We'll figure out what happened with that video. It seems like that the voice seems to have dropped off there. I'm sorry. We'll find out what's going on with that and see if we can't fix it. Welcome back to It's All About Arts. My name is Glenn Williams. I am your host, or you are my host. I'm not sure. A couple of the things I did not mention before that I like to let you know about is that we do have a Facebook page that we would like to have you become friends on with us or like us. Our goal this week is to get it up to 300 likes. We've been very active on it. Val's been doing some great things on it. And also, if you want to send us a tweet, please, at It's All About Arts is how you get to send us a little message or let us know how we're doing, or just to generally join in with the fun here at BNN-TV. Without further ado, I'm so glad she's back. How about if we turn it over to Val? Val's View?
Hey guys, it's so nice to be back. Weather's a little chillier than the Bahamas, but it's always good to be back at home in Boston. So I have a couple of fun things to talk about coming up in the city. First off, we have Swing at South Station. This is a really unique event that New School Swing is putting on. It's going on Tuesday, November 18th, so it's coming up next week. It's going on from 8 to 11 p.m. That's at South Station, 700 Atlantic Ave, for those of you who don't know the street address. But it's going to be a swing dance lesson followed by a little swing dance soiree, and this is all free, all put on by New School Swing. They're going to be teaching you the Lindy Hop, so it'll be about an hour-long lesson, and there's going to be live music. Get to dance, try out some of those moves that you learned during the lesson. If you're new to swing dancing, I know I've never gotten a chance to go to a class, which I might try this because swing dancing is pretty cool. So definitely go check it out. You don't need to bring a partner. You can go by yourself. You can bring your friend. You can bring whoever you want, but just bring your two dancing feet. So second, we have OPC. This is a performance going on at the Loeb Drama Center. That's at 64 Brattle Street in Cambridge. It's going on November 28th through January 4th, so it's an ongoing performance. So this is a piece that's being put on by Eve Ensler. For those of you who don't know her, she is the author of the Vagina Monologues. This is an exploration of consumption and politics. It sort of discusses how are we to survive as a species if we insist on destroying the world that we love. So it's a really interesting, sort of controversial piece about consumerism and the environment. It's definitely something to get into if that's the type of material that you like. It's a really interesting comedy, so it's not going to be all serious the whole time. It's a mother-daughter play, so maybe bring your mom, maybe bring your daughter, maybe bring your best friend. But definitely go check it out. It's going on again from November 28th to January 4th. And thirdly is Boston International Antiquarian Book Fair. So this is really interesting for those book lovers out there, people who are into literature. It's going on Friday, November 14th, so this Friday from 5 to 9 p.m. It's at the Heinz Convention Center on Boylston Street. And this is the annual fall gathering for book lovers. There's going to be a record number of vendors there, over 134 dealers, so lots and lots of people from all over the world, from the U.S., from England to Russia, to Italy, to Germany, lots of different dealers of antique books, of antique prints, of different manuscripts. So it's going to be something really interesting to check out, even if you're just going to look or if you're going to buy a particular piece that you're interested in. It's one of the most well-regarded and respected antiquarian book fairs in the country, so definitely check it out. That's been Val's View. I hope you get a chance to check out some of those things this week and the next couple of weeks coming up. It's always my pleasure to bring to you the activities that are going on in Boston. I'm going to shoot it back to Glenn. Back to you, Glenn.
Thank you, Val. Great to have you back in the studio. That was fantastic. Dancing, eh? Maybe we should go there before we go to the Guild. Well, listen, gang, thank you very much for hanging in there with us. Anybody who's ever been through Rosendale Square is extremely familiar with the transportation building down there. It's the old power station that helped power the trolleys that used to go up and down Washington Street way, way back. In fact, the building that we're in right now is the exact same kind of building. It was a power station. And back, anybody that's heard me talk about that building or heard me do any of my history of Rosendale knows that back in the early 70s, I was a member of an organization called the RAISE, the Rosendale Association of Youth, and we were also part of the Rosendale Civic Association, which kind of like, we ran a drop-in center for kids. We did a lot of community service. We did a lot of different events around Rosendale. Kind of a precursor to some of the things Main Streets does, but we kind of did a lot of things. And at the time, Summer Thing was this big, huge thing that the then mayor, Kevin White, had going around the city that was an incredibly successful summer program for all ages, just things for kids to do during the summer, for adults to do, all kinds of different concerts all over the place. We had the Byrds in Fallon Field one year that I was there. Bo Diddley, we had the Boston Symphony Orchestra in Fallon. This is kind of some of the things they did. One of the things that we petitioned for was a mural on the side of that building. And we sat in committee meetings with Louise Day Hicks and all these counselors and stuff to try and get the money together to do it. And lo and behold, we had this amazing mural that's been on the side of that building now for 40 years. And it's starting to fall apart. And anybody that goes through the square now knows this. It's a huge renovation thing going on down there. And so a lot of talk about the mural, about what are we going to do about the mural, and I would always be the one saying, we can't let that mural go, we can't let that mural go. We have to find some way to preserve it, or at least get more information about it and let people know more about it. Well, you know what? I am so stoked and proud to have the gentleman that actually climbed on the scaffoldings, designed that mural, put the paint on those bricks, in the room with me today. Folks, it's my great pleasure and honor to introduce you to James Higgins. Mr. Higgins.
Yes, sorry about my hand there.
I'm sorry, Rosendale jumped up and bit you.
Yeah, well, blame it on the crumbling infrastructure, which is actually a nationwide problem.
Oh, certainly. You and I did meet a long time ago. We used to, me and a couple of the other guys would sit across the street on the municipal building and watch you do this work.
Yeah.
And I remember the dedication that was put up and that can still be seen up there. It was an incredible, and then someone said that you were going to be in town. You're in Florida now, right?
I'm in Deerfield Beach right now.
Deerfield
It's Southeast
Beach.
Florida.
Southeast Florida. And you came up for one of the events that they were dedicating the building to.
I came up for the groundbreaking a couple months ago.
Yep.
I met the new mayor. He was very nice. He
Yes.
invited me to, it's always been my intention to move back up here. And I mentioned to him that planning on moving back up. He said, make sure you move back up before I'm up for re-election.
he needs every vote he can get.
So that's my goal.
May Walsh is doing a hell of a job. He really is. He's doing great.
So he was a very nice person, and certainly was a pleasure meeting him, an honor meeting him.
I remember because I couldn't go to the groundbreaking because I was at the farmer's market.
I think so.
Running some of the stuff over there. But someone said that my name had came up during the dedication, which is always an honor for me. And you made your way up to say hello. I was so happy to see you.
Yeah. Well, I've been looking for you. I've been up here a couple of times.
Oh, okay.
And you know, I painted that mural in 1971. I think it's 43 years now. Mm-hmm. And you don't really realize how significant something is in your life until 43 years later. Mm. When I painted it, of course, it was a big thing. It was probably the biggest thing I had ever done. At that time, maybe it still is. After 43 years, I'm sure it is. But it keeps gaining importance, gaining significance in my life. And I must say that when I was painting it, the whole square, all the merchants around the square were very supportive of it. And I remember the cafe there, Diane's Cafe.
Diane's Bakery, they're still there. I go every Saturday.
It was a cafe back then with booths and tables, and they served a full fare of food.
Oh, that was Diane Derner's.
Whatever it was.
Okay, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
And they even, I mentioned to them one day that I really liked cherry rhubarb pie. And I went in there one day and they had a cherry rhubarb pie for me. My friend and helper, who passed away about 10 years ago, Eddie Ludwak, I couldn't have done it without him. He put up all the scaffolding and helped me with all of the logistics of that. But
before we get too deep into the story, can we show a couple of these pictures just so that people will get a sense of what we're talking about? Maybe they'll go, oh, that's what they're talking about. This is the mural right here that we're talking about down in Roslyn. It's directly across from the post office or the entrance to the community center. That was
a sub city hall, I think.
It was a little city hall. Yeah. It was a little city hall with the medical center in the back.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, and
luckily I never had to use that.
Thank you. Thanks for not falling off that scaffolding. But this is the mural that we're actually talking about. Talk to me a little bit about the design and what was the concept that you had for this.
Well, some of the same problems back that exist today were the object of the mural and the whole project then, and that is to beautify the square, beautify the space. And there were a lot of spaces around the city. I think there were somewhere in the neighborhood of 30 or 40 of these murals by different artists. I was fortunate, honored to do a couple of them. But they were all meant to beautify public spaces.
There's a great shot of it right there. That's from Adams Park. That's beautiful.
It was a difficult shot to get with the light, but that one came out pretty good. I'm really happy with that one, with the whole building and so
is that you on the scaffold?
That is Eddie, my buddy Eddie.
Oh, because you took the picture. Okay.
Yeah, this is of course I'm taking the picture.
Yeah.
But We're about 65 feet up in the air there because the mural is about 35 feet high, I believe, and well, I shouldn't say 65, maybe 45 feet up. And there's maybe 12 or 14 feet from the sidewalk up to it. After, I spent one whole summer, it was the whole summer of 1971 we spent doing this mural. Eddie helped me put up the scaffolding, and I must say, by the end of the summer, I was swinging around on that scaffolding pretty much unafraid of anything.
Freehand,
like
we'll
a
call
monkey. But it took me a few days to get up the courage to get up there. My friend Eddie had it down pat. He was the first one up, and he actually was putting it up. We started out, the city delivered us the scaffolding, and they originally delivered us swing scaffolding.
So they were going to put you in chairs to swing around?
Well, no, it was just a platform. It has pulleys on both sides with a
like the
board.
window washers.
Yeah, like a window washer.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it just swings in the breeze.
Oh,
you know?
no.
Well, my buddy Eddie was really good at doing this stuff, but he wasn't a professional either, you know, and I had a little reservation about it. We got up on that scaffolding, and I said, this is not going to work. I'd lean forward to start drawing the outlines and stuff, and the scaffolding would move away.
Oh, no.
So I said, Eddie, we got to get some other scaffolding. He agreed, and the city then delivered us this other staging,
Great.
which worked out really fine. I had a lot of preliminary drawings, and I sketched it out with squares, and like half-inch squares translated to, roughly say 3 feet squares. And then I went around and I drew the whole thing. One of my ideas was to try to highlight the brick and actually stencil the brick out, block them out. And we went around, we put up these big shapes of paper and sealed them to the wall to block out so the paint wouldn't get on the bricks in certain areas.
Right.
And I prepared the wall with a very high quality, what we call gesso, white paint that the colors were applied onto. Just as I got all that white paint on the wall and all the paper stencils were on there, we had probably the worst cloudburst storm I have ever seen in Boston.
New England stepped up, huh?
and all of that white paint went down on the sidewalk and was running down the street. I said, oh my God, what a mess we have, and all the paper was coming off. I said, this is not going to work. So then we went to our plan B, and we put all the colors up there. Yeah. And it took me all summer. And
it lasted.
Well, my hero in all of this was Kathy Kane. She was just a wonderful supporter of the arts and the whole summer thing program.
Kathy's still around.
She was vice mayor or deputy mayor, I think it was.
Yeah.
Under Kevin White. Kevin White was also, in my book, a wonderful person. I had the honor of meeting him a couple of times.
He's a great man.
But I got the mural up, and they used it as a showpiece. They brought people around to show them.
Yes, it became a big part of Rosendale.
And I think, I'm pretty certain actually, that it's the last of that era, the last mural remaining of that whole era.
Yeah, some of us have chained ourselves to that wall to prevent it from coming down. I can't tell you how many times that building almost came down to the ground.
Well, I really appreciate that. And actually, when Kathy Kane was still in City Hall, they called me on the phone and asked me if I would sign a release so that they could have somebody restore the mural. And I thought, gee, maybe I could go up and do that. But
would you climb that scaffolding today?
I'll be 70 years old in April, and I would be happy to get on that scaffolding.
That's what I want to hear. That's the commitment I love to hear. That's beautiful.
You bet.
You know, painting murals isn't the only claim to fame you got. If I can get a picture of this is fascinating. If I can get you to Over here? Okay, I'm sorry. There you go, got it. You're a musician as well, a one-man band dude.
Well, yeah, I always liked music, and I grew up, when I was very young, grew up with a single parent, my mother, and we didn't have a lot of money, so I remember she used to put me in one of those concrete stationary tubs for a bath.
Okay.
And if anybody's ever seen those things, they have a scrub board built into them. And that always fascinated me. So years later, when I had some friends that were musicians, I wanted to play music with them. I remember seeing someone playing washboard, and I got a washboard, and I took to it pretty well. I even learned some songs, and summer thing had me going around to various neighborhoods, and I would set up and just extemporaneously set up in a public place.
That's the way Summer Thing was.
Yeah. And I would play, and all the kids would gather around, and they would come and bang on my the instrument there, and we learned songs. And then one year I had a budget where I could get materials, and I actually taught kids how to build their one-man bands so they all could play music. And my motto was that everybody dances to the beat of a different drummer, but we all have to play in time with each other.
That's right.
So, it was something of that nature. I thought it was good, and it worked out. We learned songs, simple songs like even Knick Knack, Paddywhack, Give 'em Dollar Bone.
When you're dealing with kids,
Yeah.
I mean.
We learned a bunch of these songs. Row, row, row your boat, which I said was a theme song to life. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Row, row, row your boat. Life is but a dream.
Yeah.
And so we learned these songs, and then the city had us go into rest homes, any place people were shut in the city of Boston, and these kids put on wonderful shows.
Yeah.
With their one-man bands that they made, and they would
That you
paint
inspired?
them up.
Yeah.
And I would play along with them, and we had some wonderful times and entertained people, sick people, and old people, and even people we went into places where young people were in detention.
Yep.
And it taught them how they can be constructive, do artwork, and do things that was fun without getting in trouble. And I'm very proud of that program too. The city was very supportive of it.
That was Kevin. That was Kevin White.
Yeah.
That was Mayor
Kevin
White.
was wonderful.
He was amazing, wasn't he? He knew this city and during a time when God knows what could have happened.
Yeah.
And then the busing thing came in. And who knew?
I
Who
think
knew?
that's part of it. I think when Kevin came in as mayor, the city was on the brink of bankruptcy.
It was financial and emotionally ready to go over.
And there was a lot of depressed neighborhoods, depressed squares and areas, and it needed a lot of brightening up.
Yeah.
And I think that's the whole basic situation that all this public art and murals and everything came from. And I think they were very successful in doing what they were intended to do.
I've got to share one more thing with you. Stone Soup was...
An old friend of mine, one of the first friends that I made when I was in Boston is Jack Powers, who passed away a couple years ago. He was a civic activist.
Yeah.
And he worked with Summer Thing. He was a neighborhood coordinator, I think, also.
Yep.
He saw me one day. I was playing my one-man band just in a playground, and he saw me, and he invited me to get involved with Summer Thing. And he had a little studio or a little shop, art gallery, or it was like a meeting place on Cambridge Street, down near the Charles Street subway station, called Stone Soup. And it was a mixture of all kinds of stuff. We had poetry readings and art and crafts. And he was also extremely supportive. And
Well,
I made this up.
What you've done here is incredible for me. You've brought this up from your archives. This is the poster that was being sold.
Well, no, I gave them out. People would ask me, and I was so excited about doing the mural. I wanted everybody to know about it.
Yeah.
So I was passing these out as kind of an advertisement about my mural, to come and see my mural and what I was doing. And I named the mural Sunrise Flowers.
There's about a dozen of these left, and you've graciously brought one up, and
I brought one up for you.
I can't tell you what this means to me. It's I want to thank you so much for that. Look at this again, please. This is the color. This is the beautiful. Look at that, beautiful. This is being framed and put in my. This is going to be in my studio. This is no question about it.
Well, I'm honored to have you have that.
What are you doing nowadays? Are you still painting?
Well,
or?
I was thinking when I was listening to Val talk.
Yeah.
I have a little 4-unit motel in Deerfield Beach. Which, by the way, the local newspaper down there, it's called the Pompano Pelican. It's distributed free in Pompano and Deerfield. Ran an article last week about, they heard about this mural in Roslindale Square.
Yeah.
And they ran an article about that mural and me and the redevelopment in Roslindale Square. But Val was talking about being in the Bahamas.
Yeah.
And we have a lovely neighborhood down there. Just if you don't like young men and women and with buff bodies and surfboards and volleyball and beautiful sandy beaches, then Deerfield wouldn't be for you. But
What's
if you like
the postal address and how do you get there again?
And I'm hoping maybe I wanted to invite Val to come down for.
Is Val out there? Come on in, Val. Val, come on in. Come on in and sit down. You're getting an invitation to Florida here.
All right.
I was thinking to myself, you had a wonderful vacation in the Bahamas.
Yeah.
Well, we have what we think is every bit as nice as the Bahamas and Deerfield Beach.
Are you working for the Chamber of Commerce down there now?
Well, let's just say I have a vested interest. I do. I like where I live very much.
Yeah.
Although I've always wanted to live in Boston, and I think of Boston as my second home.
Yeah.
But I can't complain about where I live. We have one of the most beautiful beaches in the world down there.
Oh, wow.
And it's just lovely. Where I live is about a block from the beach.
Oh, that sounds wonderful.
The city has 8 public volleyball courts. They just had a big tournament there. People from all over the country come there to play volleyball. In fact,
That's so cool.
what's the girl's name? The famous volleyball player.
The one that's in the Olympics. I know who you're talking. Tall, blonde.
Yes.
Yeah.
I can picture her face. I just
usually
can't
can
picture
remember
her name.
her name, but I'm a little struck here. But she actually does play. Once in a while, she shows up down there to play. I think she has relatives in the neighborhood or something.
Oh, that's amazing.
So they had a tournament last week. It was the 5th annual volleyball tournament on the beach for stroke awareness. There was a young man who played volleyball there. He was 27 years old and had a stroke. Oh. So the local hospitals have special stroke facilities.
Yeah.
And this was a benefit in his name. Rance Jones was his name. Okay. But hopefully you'll come down and visit us next year.
I would be delighted to. Yes, I'll certainly take you up on the invitation.
It's a one thing I hope you'll bring with you is a volleyball. Yep. And all the beautiful young men and women there bring. It's basically bikinis and beach. Surfboards and volleyball.
Oh, that sounds fun. I haven't played volleyball in a while, but I was a pretty good server. Yeah. So.
You were pretty good at serving.
Yep.
Well, good. That's one of the main things.
Yeah, well,
James, I want to thank you for being in here with us. I can't tell you what it means to me being a Rosie rat for I can't tell you how long. And We advertised this show today extensively because I wanted people not only to meet you, but to get the backstory and to hear how much it does mean, these public pieces of art. The whole idea when you struck the chord perfectly was to put some sunshine into the community.
Exactly. The name of the name of the mural is Sunrise Flowers, and I think it's a little bit of the Bahamas, a little bit of the tropics in Roslindale Square.
And the dedication.
And right, there is a dedication on there. Just to, if I can remember it correctly, it goes, "May the long time sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the pure light within you guide you all the way on." And,
that's verbatim.
And
that's it.
Thank you. I'm glad I remember.
That's beautiful.
And you know something?
And I wrote on there, I wrote on the bottom line, I said, "For the folks of Roslindale,
Right.
thank you."
Do you realize that even though there's decay and the paint has come off, that dedication is absolutely still,
You can still see it.
still
I noticed it,
legible,
yeah.
and you can still read it.
I'll tell you another thing that a lot of people don't know, because I did it up in the middle and sort of in the higher parts of the mural. Everyone who helped me along the way and supported the whole project, including Kathy Kane, Kevin White, Jack Powers, my girlfriend at the time. There was a hardware store around the corner. It was Rosendale Hardware.
Rosendale, Joe Portalecki.
Well, maybe we're talking about another one because Arnold Schutfeldt's.
He was there too.
Or Schufro, Arnold Schufro.
Yes, yes.
And I remember he had a daughter, Diane, or something.
Yeah.
And I dedicated he helped me with some equipment I needed and stuff. I needed anything, I'd run over there, and Arnold always helped me. So I dedicated a brick to him and a number of people. And if you get a chance when you're tearing those bricks out, you might find some with dedications on them.
We're out of time, James.
Really?
I flew.
I was worried about having enough material to talk about.
You never have to worry. James Higgins,
Okay,
it's my
thank you-
pleasure.
thank you very
so much. Val, no, stop. You're going to say goodnight with us, Val. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
It was very nice talking with
It's
you.
been so nice talking with you.
I won't see you next week, but It's All About Arts will be here with Val. Val will be in charge. It's going to be a great show. Please make sure you tune in. Listen, gang, get out there and do something artful for yourself this week. Maybe a little swing dance, maybe a little this, maybe a little that. Sounds like fun. And like I like to say every week, please keep in the forefront of your minds our mothers, fathers, sons and daughters, aunts and uncles, nieces and nephews on foreign soil. Please do something artful. Do it for them. And we'll dig you next time, right?
Thank you so much.
Thank
it
you,
was very
James.
much fun, Glenn.
We'll see you next time. Bye-bye now.